first. Game on.
Well, the reason is for that is that he's hitting so many 180s now. And I know it's the obvious, but 180s are giving you more darts at the double. And he's taken them, so certainly on the up. But this man, Brendan Dolan,
140.
is one of the toughest players to beat.
Now, he has had a tough time of it in the big TV tournaments
45.
over the last few months, as Brendan. But I was just having a look. He's still... It was surprising how much success he's had on the floor tournaments. All right, he's not won. He didn't win anything last year. But he still made a final, 2 semis and 6 quarterfinals last year. Now, for anybody else, or a lot of other players...
Over the moon with that.
Well, I mean, that's, you know... It's good money, it's good, you know, you're showing you a threat, but such was the success that he'd had in the previous 18 months or so that it feels like it's a bit of a come down, and he has dropped down the rankings because he had a lot of money to defend, and even though, you know, he's picked up some decent cash over the last year or so.
Yeah, and also, the floor events are the lowest grade of payments, so it's the TV events where you've got to make your money. And there we talked about Daryl Gurney with the maximums straight away. However, it may be a wasted one. And of course, that extra little bit of pressure of defending money is what sometimes kills the players.
Oh, great second dart to tidy things up for Brendan Dolan. Wow, a ropey first dart, 2 absolutely perfect darts, and he gets the first leg on the board.
Yes, that'll settle him down. And I used to hate that. We spoke about it a lot, Dan. Hit a 180 and your opponent takes the shot out. I used to hate it. Because the chance of you following up with a 180 is pretty remote.
Oh, look, there's no such thing as a waste. It's not wasted. It puts some pressure on your opponent, but it must feel like you've just...
It is wasted.
Yeah, it must feel like wasted from the player's perspective.
It does. We talked about Daryl Gurney's throw before we come on air. Everybody's got individual throws, and Daryl Gurney, a bit like Bob Anderson, not got a lot of backlift. So if that explosive arm is not in sync, then his shoulder, we talked about his shoulder perhaps coming into the throw, but up until now we've not really seen it, have we?
That's it. I mean, it was suggested to me yesterday that, you know, Daryl, as you see here, there's hardly any backlift, so there's quite a lot of energy expended as he really extends that and forces the dart towards the board as he fires in a second maximum. Now,
the only time the shoulder will come into the shot if he starts to be a little bit off the gas on his explosion, you know, as we call it, the explosive when he lets go. If that starts to get a little bit weak, then his shoulder will come in. But up until now, it looks pretty solid.
Well, that'll leave him double 16 when he returns. Brendan Dolan, some way behind. The winner of this one will go through to the last 16 to face either the Bullet, Stephen Bunting, or the number 3 seed, Peter Snakebite Wright.
Daryl, you require 32.
13 darts. Daryl Gurney levels it up at 1 apiece.
We were talking about throws yesterday, and Paul Milford, I talked to him this morning about his unusual throw, and he actually had dartitis and was ready to pack the game up. And so he literally changed the grip, the throw and everything. And had a good chat with him this morning, and it's interesting. Another person that had a problem and did something about it, like Mark Webster, Yeli Klassen. And I admire people like that because it is a big step. But when it comes off, it's great. The people that are stupid, in my opinion, are the people who don't have a change, just carry on.
And just hope that things turn. Now, Brendan, I listened back to an interview he did at the World Championship. It was another first-round exit for Brendan Dolan at the Worlds. And it just continued this run of poor results in the big TV tournaments, which, as we've already mentioned, that's where you win big chunks of money. You can make huge differences to your ranking, all kinds of things. But he said to me after losing 3-0 to Kyle Anderson that he just changed his darts. These are new darts that he changed to just before the World Championship. And he talks about a new style of throwing. I don't see any grand difference in how he's throwing the dart, but they're the exact words he used, a new style of throwing, new darts. And he said, I had to do something. You know, the results I'd had on the big TV stages, it's not chance, it's not accident, it's not me, you know, put myself in position to win and then throw it away. I just haven't been good enough. So I need to try and do something to turn that around. Now, it remains to be seen, and we'll see over the next few months how successful he is at that.
Sometimes it's all about confidence. You know, a little change gives you the confidence that starts the spiral on the way up instead of keep going down. You've got to level it out.
70.
You know, a minor change, you just feel more energy, you know, to make it work. But when you're staying as the same and that energy is draining from you all the time, I know it from first-hand experience, and it's not nice.
40.
Well, that was not good. Now, if Daryl Gurney can hit at least a ton 40 would really put the pressure on. That looked good for a ton 40 with that dart as well. That's pressure for you.
There it really is. Now, Brendan, what have you got? 101 is what he's looking at.
Looks like he's going out for those 19s as well. That leaves the 82. Now he'll probably go bullseye. That's a 25, 17. So Gurney
61.
comes back.
Daryl will require 51.
Double 16, 2 darts at it for a breaker throw and a 2-1 lead. And he only needs the 1 dart, and Daryl Gurney does take the lead.
Full leg Daryl to throw first. Game on.
The man from Derry throwing for a 3-1 lead now against the County Fermanagh man.
That was quite a mouthful, that.
Nailed it though, Rob.
I'm quite impressed the way you... Word perfect. You've been learning from me, haven't you?
Yeah, I have. Elocution lessons from Rod Harrington. Can you imagine such a thing?
78.
A win here to Daryl Gurney would equal his best run on a European Tour event. He made the last 16 in Risa, lost to Kim Huybrechts.
58.
So a win would put him through to the final day of action tomorrow. As I mentioned, it's Peter Wright or Stephen Bunting who awaits the winner. We've already seen victories for Terry the Bull, Terry Jenkins, through to the third round. And of course, Justin Pipe, the best I've seen him playing in a long while. Absolutely superb display earlier on, and said after the match that he's not quitting darts like he'd suggested he might at the World Championship after another disappointing result. He's here to stay. He loves being up on that stage and winning games of darts. Who knows, could be a magical weekend for the Force.
Yeah, it's better than cutting down trees as well. Going all over the world throwing darts. Plenty of room there for a third, Brendan. Third it is, and his first maximum of the match. And now a big chance to get this throw back. Looks like Daryl's going to spoil the party.
3 maximums in 4 legs for Daryl Gurney. Brendan Dolan, just when it looked like he might be sneaking his way back into this one, Daryl Gurney slams the door in his face. Not won this leg yet, though.
61.
It happened in the previous leg, didn't it? Where Brendan looked like he's got control. All of a sudden, a big score from Gurney. And he's going to have 17. He's going to have the dart at double top for a 3-1 lead. 3-1 it is. This is good darts from Daryl Gurney.
5th leg, Brendan to throw first. Game on.
Had a few fly into the 5, Brendan, already.
45.
There you see. 103 average overall for Daryl Gurney, and despite
59.
his big scoring, 3 180s, the first 9 average is actually lower, but his finishing has been absolutely superb so far.
That's where it is. He's setting the shot up and taking the double out. He's been absolutely perfect.
Taking out 32, 51 and 82, hitting the double with the first dart.
85.
Another one into the 5 for Brendan Dolan.
Yeah, he's got into this, what we call scruffy scoring, hasn't he? You know, an 85, 95, 96 don't frighten your opponent. You put a string of tons up there and they happen to glance over it, it does make them have a second look.
Gurney was one of the top performers in the opening day of the tournament yesterday. We saw 100 average from Mark Webster, he was excellent. We saw 98 average from Jamie Lewis, who actually improved on that earlier on, still got beaten by Justin Pipe. But Daryl Gurney averaged 98 himself in seeing off Jihan Arto. And the back end of that game, he produced some stunning darts. He only won it 6-5 in the end, but his last 3 winning legs were done in 11, 11 and 13 darts, performing under pressure. And that's the kind of darts that can go on and put you on incredible runs in tournaments like this and potentially win you one of them. Now, I know last year the European Tour was dominated by Michael Smith and Michael van Gerwen, who won 7 tournaments between them. But the year before, we had 8 different winners from 8 events.
83.
So these are huge opportunities for the entire field to go and pick up some serious money and potentially claim a massive title.
And a place in the European finals.
Yes, of course. And potentially the Grand Slam.
Yes.
161 for Daryl Gurney. Not going to happen, so Brendan Dolan's going to get a chance to take out 78 and pull a leg back.
Yeah, sorry, Danny, may go 25, and that's the first bit of luck that Brendan Dolan will think he's had.
78.
Out of the way of that double top.
38.
Unable to find it now. An extra 25 points would have made this easier. Treble 17. Gets it. Bullseye.
96. Brendan, you require 40.
Would have been a kick in the guts for Brendan Dolan, but he's still got to take this out. Otherwise, in all kinds of bother at 4-1 down. Love marker.
That is
surely.
Perfect.
Game shot on the 5th leg.
It just kissed the barrel, and Brendan Dolan finds the little red bit at the top of the board, and it is 3-2.
But it was a 20-dart leg, Dan, you know, and you're not going to carry on winning with those sort of
60.
darts. He's got to up his scoring power, because the way Daryl Gurney is scoring, you know, at the moment you can only see one winner. We know that games turn around as quick as anything. But Brendan, he's got to start hitting 140s. You know, the 60s and the 45s have got to become tons. The tons have got to become 140s. Oh, there we have it. Oh, the 140s are equal.
60.
Well, still nearly 10 points in the averages. Daryl Gurney, a break up. Brendan Dolan has made the final of the Dutch Darts Masters.
60.
Year before last, that was when it was held in Veldhoven. Not a million miles away from where we are in Venray.
Well, this is where Brendan Dolan's got to punish Gurney to get himself back in this game. And that is not enough. Easy for us to say, I realise that, but if you're going to win this game and your opponent hits a bad score, he's got to jump on it, because now Gurney will probably just go up there and hit a 140 or a 180.
140 it is.
From being in front, he finds himself 100 points, 101 points behind.
85.
A little bit of frustration there as well.
Sped up. Lightning quick from the history maker.
Like I said, I mean, there's no question that Daryl has gone off the boil a little bit with that scoring, but Brendan is not punishing him.
Yeah, not really worrying the treble bed with the first 2 darts. Good last dart, gets him down to 97, a 2-dart finish, but is he going to get a chance at it? Great second dart from Daryl Gurney.
80.
Right on the wire for double 18. Anguish from Gurney, and Dolan looking at 97 now. Treble 19 for tops.
Massive chance here for Dolan, and he's hit the treble 19 now, the tops. Hit it in the previous leg. Well, that is a long way off. We can't call that a guide. That was an absolute flyer, wasn't it, the first one? That was a very nervy dart.
Last dart for 4-2.
The score.
Don't get much closer. It's not close enough. Now Brendan Dolan to level the match. Led a bit of a charmed life over the last couple of legs as Brendan Dolan. Double 10.
Game's on the 6th leg.
But he's won another one. It's 2 legs on the spin. It's 3 apiece now, and Brendan is throwing to go into the lead.
Yeah, massive chance for Gurney. Should be 4-2 up. But now the advantage is back with Brendan, and perhaps that little bit of luck will just spur him on. But some of these darts are flying all over the place.
47.
Yeah, me. It's not just the odd one either. It's quite a regular thing.
All three of them were a long way off them. The first one was 2 inches high. The second one just didn't look like it come out the hand well, and the angle it went in the board. And then the big 7 was a flyer.
It's like I said earlier, he talked about having a new style of. I can't see a great deal of difference from his throw now as to what it was 6 months ago. If I'm honest,
Looks identical to me.
60.
yeah. I mean, I'll have to go back and check some old videos, but it would seem strange that it's such
60.
wildly different results. He's always been a consistent player, Brendan Dolan. Yeah. Michael van Gerwen, 2.5 years ago, called him the most underrated player in world darts.
Well, I think we did as well, Dan. I mean, he was a tough cookie to beat. He was always coming up on the blind side, always putting in great performances. But like I said, especially the last year, he has really gone off the boil. Although, as you mentioned, he's had a few good runs in the tour events. But these are worth twice as much as a tour event. The minor TV events are worth twice as much as this, and then the match play, and then you've got the Grand Prix, and then obviously the World Championship that carries all the weight.
140. That will require 161.
Well, 161 for Gurney. That's a great dart. That's another one. Oh, and that was nearly the best of the lot. Will he come back? 154 for Brendan Dolan. It's a little bit easier than the 161, but it ain't easy.
Well, he's done the first bit. Treble 18. Oh, that was a good thrown dart. So that was just on the top side.
38.
But he's put the pressure on.
Require 25.
Now Gurney missed darts, plenty of them in the previous leg. He's going to get 2 darts at double 8. Oh, now he hits it. Now he breaks the throw again of Brendan Dolan.
Darryl to throw first. Game on.
Now this is where Gurney needs to. The far in a 12 dart would be great. 15 will probably suffice.
Well, it's the back end of the match against Jihan Arthur in round 1 that he produced his best darts to win what turned out to be a very tight contest. Came from 3-1 down in that. Won it 6-5. He leads 4-3 against his fellow countryman Brendan Dolan.
You see with the first dart, we talk about markers and how good they should be, gives you line and length. Now that first dart was so high from Brendan, the other 2 followed it.
He's got nothing to work off, has he?
No, sometimes I just think perhaps if they're that far above, go down to the 19s, you've got a clean target.
Because even if it's not going to get in the way, it is right in your eye line, and subconsciously you're still looking at it. You're not focusing on the treble.
Right. 80. That's a bit of bad luck. That just caught the flight and took the speed off the dart. Well, there was a little bit of a push there, and the push will cause the dart to go low, but it's the first one we've actually seen in this match. And again, I mean, He's coming back down to it. Now that's a better guide. He might be able to find the treble from there. But that first dart, 2 inches high, isn't it?
And it's every other visit he's getting a dart like that, pretty much. It's either very, very high. He's had a number into the 5.
96.
I think we're analysing it more because Brendan, over the years, since that great run when he lost to Phil in the final, he did the 9 dart, has been so consistent with his darts. I think that's why we're analysing it a lot with him. You can see he's getting frustrated
45.
now and just throwing the dart a little bit harder.
Require 114.
That doesn't help Gurney, but he already has a healthy lead in this leg. And
38.
well, not setting it up ideally, but he should get at least 1 dart at a double when he returns. And Brandon's going to need something big. He's going to need 2 trebles here to apply any real pressure. Now that's a much better dart for him. And he uses it. And again, much better from Brendan Dolan. There is a bit of pressure on this now for Daryl Gurney. Pressure? What pressure? We're talking about pressure. 5-3 Gurney's 1 leg away.
And I think, Dan, with that last 3 darts of Brendan Dolan, I think it emphasises more how important the first dart is. You know, all the other throws, miles high. That was perfect. This is perfect and should follow it up.
19.
Although he did switch there because it did clatter into the first dart.
Well, Brendan has got to win 3 straight legs. He's not managed to do that at any point in this game.
95.
But he does have the throw in this one, and if it goes the distance, he'll have the throw in the decider. And Gurney did go off the boil in the middle of the match. If he can't afford to do so again,
No.
will open the door for Brendan.
This is an important 3 darts for Brendan, though.
Another one of
Very
those.
important. Needs another one of those. One's not going to be enough. That is good darts for Dolan.
25.
What he doesn't want to do, Dan, is get a 1 dart combination at the double and look across, and Gurney's right there with him. He wants to try and win this leg comfortable and then put the pressure on in the next leg.
Well, it looks like he's going to be under pressure of some sort if he does get down to a double first, Brendan, but he might not, because that's only 20 scored.
39.
39.
That will require 145.
Advantage Gurney. He won't win it with this visit. He can put all kinds of pressure on.
59.
Not as much as he would have liked.
You require 145.
I thought he might have gone 25 there. I know a lot of players would have done. Left 80, guaranteed a dart at the double instead of a dart at the bullseye. Admittedly, if he hits the treble 18, he will have 2 darts at double 16.
97.
The last 2 legs,
Daryl, you require
he's hit the treble and hit the double first dart. So can he find the treble 18? I know he's going to have to stay there. Double 7 for the match.
79.
1 match dart missed by Daryl Gurney. Brendan Dolan to stay alive. 46 he wants. I think it'll be 14 double 16.
6 double top.
6 double top it is. It's got to go, Brendan, surely. And he doesn't. And Daryl Gurney, having missed 1 match dart, will get 2 more.
Yeah, he's got to focus here. Don't miss the big 3. 2 clean darts at double 2.
Madhouse for the match.
5 score.
3 match
Brendan,
darts
you require
missed now
40.
by Daryl Gurney. And Brendan Dolan is given another lifeline. And we said that Gurney couldn't afford to go off the boil like he did in the middle of the game, where Brendan managed to win a couple of legs with 20 and 21 darts. That is awkward.
30.
He rushed that. I mean, the second dart from where we're sitting had covered that double 10 up. So he obviously had to move left or right, but he didn't move at all. He just tried to pitch it in the top half of the double. So, well.
What?
Brendan, you require 10.
Well, the hardest double to hit is the one to finish the match, and that's certainly the case with Daryl Gurney.
Does anyone want to win this leg? Brendan. There we go. Well, Brendan Dolan is still alive in this one somehow.
Game on.
hitting double five, but this is the leg where Daryl Gurney will be desperate to end things, because Brendan would have to throw in and decide if it goes that far. He has missed 4 match darts already, but kicks off 140. Darts is a strange old game.
Well, that's why you should never give up. You know, you see people that throw darts away. I say it to all the youngsters, I say it to my son, you know, don't ever throw a dart away. I mean, in the Masters, you see Phil Taylor have 7 darts at a double to beat Michael van Gerwen. You didn't see Michael throw darts away.
No.
85.
You never know what's going to happen. Always assume that your opponent will miss.
It's tough to watch at times, Brendan, because he's just not, doesn't seem his normal self. Daryl Gurney is not showing a great deal of mercy. He's given him countless opportunities in previous legs. He's looking to end this in a hurry.
Well, he doesn't want to go to that last leg because Brendan's got the throw. That's when it gets a bit nervy. But he's going to get 6 darts from here, minimum.
Well, he'll take that. Gets him down to 54, which should give him 2 darts for the match when he returns. Brendan Dolan has got to hit something huge.
I'm surprised Brendan went for that. You know, the 18s, yes, the 132 and left in the 170. However, it might not matter.
14.
Well, that's 2 more darts. It's 6 he's missed for the match so far.
And he hit the big 18 going for the ones, so that was another 3.
Well, yeah, there you go.
You count those.
That will require 40.
Surely this is where Gurney closes it out. Tops he wants. Lovely marker.
Even a better one.
20.
Wow.
It goes on. It goes on. And Brendan Dolan
47.
might be about to steal the most unlikely of legs.
And Daryl Gurney's getting angry with himself, so if he does come back from the 10s and he's got a little bit of tension and he puts the first dart on the inside of the 10s and has to chase up to the 5s.
94.
Well, now we have got pressure.
20.
If he's going to miss it, wants to just lay on the outside wire. Doesn't miss.
Well, finally, Daryl Gurney gets over the line. There were at least 9 missed match darts in the last couple of legs. We know a Northern Irishman was going through, but it's not the seeded player. Brendan Dolan knocked out of the Dutch Darts Masters.